there's a lot of positive things happening. A new Costco being built on this side. The battery plant is in operation. The bridge is to open this fall, spring. But you know, with the bridge, I'm going to mention, with the bridge, you know, one of the things I've believed in is that's going to bring just-in-time warehousing to our area. And I think we'll see more of that coming. And the bank rate is being talked about dropping again. You know, and let's get serious here. Interest rates are darn cheap right now. You know, a 5-year mortgage for 4.89 or 99 or whatever it is, you know, the hesitation we have now is all because of tariffs. You know, you turn around and, you know, I looked at it and I printed it out. Denny had sent out, you know, the sheet to all of you. Now, basically, it turned around and showed you what percentage of homes are selling and what price. And 65.3% of all the homes are under $600,000. Who's buying them? They don't care about tariffs. They're getting married. Okay, they got to have a house. Okay, or they're renters, and now's the time to get and buy a house is what's going on. You turn around, you know, okay, 600 to 750 is 16.13%, but if you add all the way up to over $1.5 million, that's only 18% of our business. You know, I gave out some scripts there. I emailed you. I don't know if most of you read them. But, you know, it's your job to educate the seller. It's your job to educate the buyer. And, you know, like I said in that email I sent out, yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, it's all about price. Okay? The price is going to sell the home. The question is it your home or your neighbor's home? Okay? It really comes down. We got to educate them in that respect. You know, when it comes to buyers at the same time, you know, Mr. Buyer, I know if you're not in the manufacturing business maybe, okay? Or they're in a very secure job. Now's the time to buy up, especially when only 18% of all sales are over $750,000, and you're looking for that 800 or 900. Now's the time I, as your realtor, can get the best deal for you because there's 5, 10 you can choose from. Again, we got to educate our buyers. But, you know, we're coming in this fall market, and everybody I'm talking to is talking about it's going to be a good fall market. But we just got to believe it, okay? And we got to make calls, touch base with your people you might not have talked to for the last while, okay, just to educate them is what it comes down to. But one of the other things I wanted to talk about to go with that email I sent out was right now, get the numbers here. Right now, there's more listings on the market now than there ever has been. Okay, we're over 2,000. You know, last year might have been 1,700, 1,200 more listings. And who here does not have a listing that has been on the market over under 2 months? You probably, several of you have them that have been on the market. And one of the things I learned, Remo Valente is realistically where I started my career. 1 year at the Permanent, then I was 7.5 years at Valente Real Estate. The entrepreneur in me got me to become a REMAX agent back then and then continue. But one of the things he taught me on listing, every time I go on an offer presentation, I don't care if the offer presentation is $200,000 under the asking price. I always took a fully filled out listing amendment. The only thing that wasn't filled out was what the new price was going to be. And I also added a 30 or 60 day extension on the listing at the same time. And when the offer presentation was done, I would talk to the sellers and I'd say, you know, they just counted the offer at whatever they did. Okay, and you know, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you just counted your home 50,000 or 20,000 less than what the asking price is. What I would really want you to do or advise you to do right now, we're going to adjust your asking price down by 20 grand to match what you've just done. Because if it's truly worth that, we'll create more activity. And I want to do it right in front of Mr. Agent from Agent X. So when he leaves with the counter, he can go back to his buyer and say, look, they're serious about selling. They just reduced it to this asking price, okay? I made more money, I made more money, but I was less expiry rates because I was successful in getting my home sold back then. Granted, I'm going back 1991 and before that, okay? But it's the same principle. Like I was very successful, and some might know this, but one year I was in the top 10 salespeople in this city. And I'm proud of that I did well. I love what I did. My challenge was, I had little guys, so they were really small back then. And I wanted to spend more time at home. And I find this a bigger challenge, helping you to become the best you can be. And that's why I love what I love. Okay, I'm not retiring. That's not happening. One thing, a lot of you heard me say, one thing, I've been 47 years in the business. But 4 years ago, 43 years in the business, I finally learned one thing very important to me. I don't like snow. Okay, so that's why I'm down there. And most of you, I've called, we've talked, we've done. I've hired some from Florida, and I'll still be busy. But I got him over there, the little guy, Gord. Okay, he's there to help me through this whole process.
You're doing a good job too, Gordy.
So that's one thing you do, on your listings. Anytime. And if you don't take a listing amendment with you, you're cheating yourself. You're cheating your seller, okay? Now, let's say you have one that is really tough, and this one takes guts. Won't listen to you, won't do anything. You take that fully filled out listing amendment for a reduction of price, and with that, you also take a cancellation. Mr. Seller, you have a choice to make right now. Okay? You're either going to listen to me or listen to the market. Because I said in the other thing, I don't determine what the market's going to do. I'm good at marketing. That's what gets a home sold, okay? But you got a choice. You're either going to reduce it or we're parting ways. And if you had a connection with them before, they're going to go, really? You don't want to work with me? I want to work with you, but you don't want to work with me because you're not listening. Okay? That takes guts. I had one time, no problem, goodbye. It still was on the market another 3 or 4 months later and finally listened, okay? I had another one that would not on Gelso Street in Tecumseh. I still remember. 2-story, 2-car garage. I still remember the home. Is when you do something, you remember it, it sticks with you. And I turned around and I did what happened. I was in competition with 2 other realtors, Royal LePage and Buckingham. And they said, list here. And I said, no, here. No, we want to try here, but we want you, Glenn, okay? My marketing, everything else. Okay, I'll take it because I want to get the signature, no signing, no checking, okay? The fact is I take it, but if we don't have any activity, and this was in a declining market, recession starting, okay? And they were moving to Toronto and took it at their price. No action. Okay, I go for a price. No, we think, I go for it. A month later, finally get them reduced 10 grand. Another month later, another 10 grand. I finally bring my 2. You're either reducing to my price or find somebody else. They loved me. They weren't leaving me, so I threw that away. They finally reduced it to my price, and just to give you an idea, we sold it for, why do I remember, $168,000 for a 2-story home in the heart of Tecumseh, okay? We started at 2-something, okay? But they had to move. But it works, but it takes guts to do that. And this is the market. You have to have some guts. You also have to turn around and be able to advise, okay? I don't want you to be disappointed later, okay? So think of that. Try it. You'll be surprised what happens. Especially, okay, I'm not going to say do the cancellation unless you feel strong about it, okay? Because what do? When you list for how long?
6 months.
6 months. All the time, okay? It's the old colloquial expressions I learned. Why 6 months? Mr. and Mrs. Seller, if you were driving to Toronto, would you go with a full tank of gas or a half tank of gas? Full tank of gas. Well, I need the full tank of gas because we're going at your price, not mine. Yeah. So, it's what you got to do. Okay, next topic. Rebranding. A lot of you don't like it.
Sorry, I already threw my Pepsi. I'll try to make another one.
I didn't like it when I first saw it because, I love The balloon. When this balloon came along, there was a lot of objection from what the balloon was. Okay, but guess what? We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. And you're going to see every promotion's going to be with this balloon on it at the same time. This is a new sign of Hank, as you can see, that we just done. Still the red, white, and blue, with everything there, picture of Hank in that in here. So, it's something we got to do, and it's coming along. I'm tired of hearing all the issues about Pepsi.
It looks like, are they gonna grandfather our signs in?
Yeah, you don't have to change immediately. When they rebranded last time, they basically gave a year to change everything, okay? They have not sent anything out about that yet, but it's coming. Okay, when it comes to rebranding, that is something that will be done and we'll have to look at. Okay. Now, sorry. Okay, excuse me, I got a question. Go ahead, Barbara.
We changed the rules that the REMAX name has to be bigger than the agent name. Did they change the rules? Because that used to be the same as what it is.
What it is, I know exactly what you're talking. There's a lot of illegal out there. Okay, but our signs are fine because even if his name was real big, our logo is not just here; it's here and here.
The P&L thing.
Rico, probably about 15 years ago, changed that guideline. Your name can be larger than the brokerage name. It just has to appear prominent. So what is prominency?
Yeah.
The way that Rico is, if they removed every element off the sign or off the advertising, would someone be able to identify what the brokerage name was? Mm-hmm. So take out all the names, the pictures, the logos. Could we identify this from REMAX preferred? Yeah. That's what they're concerned about.
Yeah, and there's some companies that have signed that side that the company name's that big. You really can't tell.
It's not a question, it's just a recommendation that, can we make the ones that say sold, like big? Because it's exactly the same.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to see that bigger.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it looks exactly like for sale. So when you drive by, you're like, oh, it's for sale. It's still for sale. Actually, no, it's sold.
Yeah.
But no one recognizes it because I want it screening. I sold it.
Good point.
Yeah.
It should fill the whole box.
Yeah, there's no regulation on that.
Cuts off a bit, yes.
Glenn, there actually is, but if you're wanting to
Okay, she's black and white. I'm gray. Make it as big as you want.
The way that Hank has it on his sign, that's 100% compliant.
Okay.
If you want to change some of the elements, then you're getting. But REMAX corporate is mostly concerned about that red, white, and blue.
Right.
That they're the right colors, that they're the right size of the bands, and that you're basically looking at it and identifying that it's REMAX.
And she knows I'm 98%. I follow the rules, okay? It's something like that that doesn't bother me, where we got two other REMAX here that are not following the rules whatsoever. But again, it's our brand. You're given the market share. We're still the number one market share as an individual company. We've got Deerbrook there, but if they got a warm body, they're hiring them. Royal LePage is there, but we've always been ahead of Royal LePage. But the branding is there, and it's there for us. Brad.
So the signs that we have now, I have red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
That's still okay, right?
Yes.
It says here that your brown ones is 18, whatever. It's not red, white, and blue. So the ones we got now are still good.
Right. It's got to be red, white, and blue.
Yeah. It's just the red ones. Okay.
Yep. Realistically, they don't even really like the picture of an individual inside. They'd rather just names, okay? But again, we've allowed that because I believe, like, who's Hank Dupie? But when they see the face, they're going to say, oh, I remember that, okay? And that's going to help them in that respect. One other thing I want to talk, especially, we've got even some more newer realtors that have just joined. They're not here with us today. But one of the things we give everybody is how to list with REMAX Preferred, the new manuals, okay, the listing manuals. If you don't have a listing manual, see Jennifer, okay? And if you have a listing manual that has the old, because we've changed them all to the new logo, that we're more than happy to provide you with the paperwork to put back in your manual to use that. Because coming in the next week or so, I'm going to be doing a meeting down here on listing presentations, how to use the manual, how to tell the REMAX story. I'm just trying to figure a date that would be good for it. And, again, we got to get stronger at listing. You got sell the brand, and you got to sell the pricing so you're not wasting a lot of money. I think I covered anything. Denny, did you have anything to?
911, call Denny.
I did that on Sunday.